Okay, guys, I wanted to stop there because I didn't want to get to the 15-minute mark. But continuing on from where we were with this Blu-ray and DVD update, like I said before, I know you've seen all these before, but I want to make these videos a little bit longer and talk more in depth about these because I just kind of show them briefly in the birthday haul. So I wanted to talk more about these ones, like the birthday stuff in more detail. Now, the next one that was from my friend, this is the last thing of the gifts from my friend, but it's the Chuck Norris Total Attack Pack, which has 4 films on it. It has Lone Wolf McQuade, The First Missing in Action, Code of Silence, and The Delta Force. All 4 of these films I love, especially The Delta Force. I say out of these 4, my favorite would probably be The Delta Force, mainly for the second half of the film. I mean, Lone Wolf McQuade, that's the one where he goes after David Carradine, I believe. David Carradine. Or Keith Carradine. It's one of the Carradine brothers. I can't remember. But that's a good one. And, of course, Missing in Action. That's the one about rescuing POWs in Vietnam. And M. Emmett Walsh is Chuck Norris's buddy and helping him out. Things like that. Sort of like in, like, reminds me of, like, Rambo 2 and Uncommon Valor. Like, rescuing POWs in Vietnam. Code of Silence, that's the one where he plays a detective and there's like a dirty, corrupt cops going on this like drug smuggling ring, and he has to stop these dirty cops and things like that. That's a good one. And my favorite is the Delta Force, because the Delta Force for me is my favorite because I like the fact that it's like 2 movies in one, because it's like a 2-hour and some minute running time. And the first, because it deals with these terrorists taking these people hostage. So the first half of the film deals with the terrorists taking the hostages, captive. And the terrorists are led by Robert Forster, which I was just talking about in Vigilante. Robert Forster plays the main villain. And some of the hostages, you have Shelley Winters, you have George Kennedy, you have forget who some of the other people were, but you have a lot of really great character actors. Those were the 2 that came to my mind first. Like George Kennedy, great character actor. Creepshow 2, The Naked Gun, Cool Hand Luke. I mean, great character actor, greatly missed. And then the second half of the film deals with, because the first half deals with the terrorists and the hostages, and Chuck Norris is not really in the first half. But then the second half of the film deals with Chuck Norris and what was his name? I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. Oh, by the way, for Lone Wolf McQuade, it was David Carradine. Hopefully it says it here. What was the guy's name in the... Lee Marvin, there we go, Lee Marvin, who teams up with Chuck Norris and they take down the terrorists. Oh yeah, some of the other people that are some of the hostages, you have Robert Vaughn, great character actor, Martin Balsam, who I believe was in Trading Places, I believe. I could be wrong on that. Like I said, I could be wrong. And actually, the Delta Force is actually directed by Menhelm Golem, who was the head of Cannon Films. Same guy that went on to direct Over the Top with Stallone. But yeah, I would say, like, my top 5 favorite Chuck Norris films, my favorite is The Hero and the Terror. Then I would probably say The Delta Force is number 2. And then I would say Missing in Action is number 3. Number 4 would probably be Silent Rage. And then 5? My 5th favorite Chuck Norris film. What would that be? Probably Code of Silence would be number 5. Great, like I said, great. If you're a Chuck Norris person, you got to get that. And the last Blu-ray that I have here to show, of course, is Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, which I picked this up for $5. I guess I had like the old DVD that was scuffed up. I hate this camera because it froze up on me like an asshole. So continuing on from what I was saying about Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. I hate when this camera just freezes off on me because it decides to be an ass. But what I was saying is, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Really fun, like, sort of buddy movie, like road movie. It's basically about these two guys, Harold and Kumar, played by John Cho and Cal Penn. They decide they have midnight munchies. They see a commercial for White Castle, and it's like a cheeseburger place, and they want to go get cheeseburgers. They're at night, and all the shenanigans they go through. It's like all night to get to White Castle, and it's like a nightmare. They pick up a hitchhiker, Neil Patrick Harris, and they get in all kinds of hijinks with a raccoon and car, like their car gets stolen and things like that. Directed by Danny Leaner, who did Do Where's My Car? Sadly, no longer with us anymore. But I think John Cho and Cal Penn do a good job together, and it was cool to see like other side characters, like besides like Neil Patrick Harris. We also have Anthony Anderson as a guy who works at at another burger joint. Fred Willard, may he rest in peace, great comedic actor, has a supporting role in this. One of the people that John Cho works with, and when I rewatched the film again not too long ago, I'm looking at the guy and I'm like, he looks really familiar. And the guy is Ethan Embry. Ethan Embry was in Vegas Vacation, and he was the kid in Dutch with Ed O'Neill. That's that kid in this. He works one of the guys that works with Cal Penn, with John Cho. Ryan Reynolds has a fun cameo in this as a nurse. Really, really funny cameo by Ryan Reynolds. Has a fun appearance. But if you like buddy movies, I would say Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle is definitely one. Now we're getting on to the DVDs that I got today that I didn't get the show or have talked about yet. But first one here, I scored a gold mine with these ones. I got them for dirt cheap. Blind Date. The first time Bruce Willis got the star in a film. And it's a really fun comedy, romantic comedy, where Bruce Willis goes on a blind date with Kim Basinger, and she has a crazy ex-boyfriend played by John Larroquette. And whenever I think of John Larroquette, I always think of the TV show Night Court, and of course the bad guy Richie Rich, and of course he was the narrator at the beginning of the original and the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when the title scroll is crawling, in 1974, 4 teenagers, and things like that. That's the narrator of those is John Larroquette. He plays the villain in this. Directed by Blake Edwards, so this is the same guy that directed a lot of the Pink Panther films with Peter Sellers. I think he did quite a bit of them. But Bruce Willis, really fun role the year before he had Die Hard. And Kim Basinger does a good job. John Larroquette, I would say John Larroquette's best role. He's really entertaining as the crazy ex-boyfriend. He's a lot of fun. He's very entertaining. But fun movie, Blind Date. Next one here that I got, I was really happy to find because I know this one is out of print. And this and the Blu-ray go for a shitload of money, and I don't know why. And I got it used for like $5. But Silver Streak. Finally got this for the Richard Pryor collection. It was the first collaboration between these two guys together, Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. Directed by Arthur Hillard. This is the same guy that will go on to do See No Evil, Hear No Evil with these two guys, which is my favorite of theirs. But it deals with Gene Wilder, and there's like a murder on the train, and there's like he has to like outsmart the crooks, and then like halfway through the film, Richard Pryor pops in, and then those two just have excellent back and forth. But it's a really fun movie, Silver Streak, and it's very, when you watch this film like nowadays, like the stuff they did with, the disc was popped out of there. Whoops. But I want to make sure the DVDs in there okay. But for a PG film, they do a lot of things in this that would not fly today with a PG rating, that's for sure. Next one here is House Guest. which I've actually never seen this film, actually. I've heard of this film a lot, though. Stars Sinbad and Phil Hartman. You also have Jeffrey Jones, Kim Greist, who was in Manhunter. She played William Peterson's wife in Manhunter. I've never seen this, but from what I understand, it's basically Sinbad plays a guy who's on the run from the mob, who he owes all this money to. And he's at the airport, and he sees Phil Hartman there with his family, and Phil Hartman is waiting for his friend that he hasn't seen in over 20 years. And Sinbad sort of sees that as a way out of his situation, and he pretends to be the friend. So then Phil Hartman and his family bring him home, and like he has to pretend to be all these things. Like the friend was like an avid golfer, so Sinbad has to learn how to play golf, and because he doesn't know much about golf. And like the friend was like a dentist, so Sinbad has to like learn how to do dentistry and things like that. So I'm looking forward to giving this a look, because I like Sinbad, Jingle All the Way, and Good Burger, and things like that. And I like Phil Hartman, may he rest in peace, who also was in Jingle All the Way with Sinbad. Of course, SNL. And the last one here that I got was What's Eating Gilbert Grape. I tell you, this is a good movie, but it is a definite tearjerker, that's for sure. But it's a really good movie, though. Basically, Johnny Depp plays a guy who is Gilbert Grape, and he works at a grocery store. He has a brother who's mentally handicapped, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and just deals with like their daily lives and things like that. You also have Mary Steenburgen, John C. Reilly. Yeah, I keep forgetting John C. Reilly was in this. I almost forgot about that. Because I'm always used to John C. Reilly in comedy films like nowadays. But back then he did more dramatic stuff. He didn't really do comedy films until later on, like Talladega Nights and things like that. And Role Models. Was it Role? Yeah, Role Models. Was he in Role Models? No, maybe he might have been, or like Step Brothers, or I know he was in Step Brothers, but I don't think he was in Role Models. That was Paul Rudd and Seann William Scott. I think I'm thinking of Step Brothers probably. But yeah, that's all the stuff that I got to show you for you guys. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.